Because of how expensive cars have become these days, budget cars have become very popular. Today we take a look at one from Suzuki, the Suzuki Celerio. And as you all know, Suzuki has a lot of small entry-level cars for you to choose from. There is the Espresso, the Ignis, and even the Swift. So what sets this one apart? We'll take a look at that. And of course, we'll also discuss its new twin brother, the Vitz. Without even wasting any of your time, you already know the Vitz is going to cost more. But more on that later. We'll talk practicality, features, cost of ownership. So let us get started. Today we're going to start things on the inside. What you're looking at is the interior of the top spec GL model. One of the giveaways that this is the top spec model is that the 7-inch infotainment screen. It has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. What I'm touching over there are your window switches. So if you want to open and close your windows, that's where you're going to do it. You can also lock and unlock your windows over there. I'll tell you why that's important a bit later. And as you can see, you have a passenger airbag for the front passenger and you have another one for the driver. So there are 2 airbags in total, and this part is just me trolling you. Ha ha ha. It's the same car, guys. Just saying. Anyway, that is where your air conditioning controls are. Pretty basic stuff, nothing complicated. You also have a 12-volt socket for you guys who like 12-volt sockets, and your USB connector is over there, and you also have 2 cup holders. Mahindra, I hope you're watching this. It's not that hard. 2 cup holders. And yeah, no armrest. Of course, it's a budget car. This is one of those cars you look at from the outside and assume is very cramped and small. But you'd be wrong, because in the back seat you have plenty of legroom, plenty of space. You can sit there without any issues. And over there is where you have your window switches. Now if you have kids, they're going to be playing with those switches a lot, so you'll need to lock them in front, as I mentioned earlier. And there's of course no center armrest. And by the way, well done Suzuki for actually putting electric windows at the back. All you Polo Vivo drivers know your cars don't have electric windows at the back, so well done Suzuki, well done. Another area Suzuki did very well is this. Fitting a child seat is very easy. The anchor points are easy to find, and clipping the child seat on is simple. I didn't struggle with this one. Easy stuff, anyone can do it without wasting any time, and there's still plenty of legroom for your baby. They'll sit comfortably and be safe. Good job, Suzuki. Before we get to the boot space, let's first talk about how it drives. The Suzuki Celerio comes with a 1-liter engine. There's no turbo, so it's naturally aspirated. It produces 49 kilowatts and 89 newton meters of torque. Doesn't sound like much because it's not much, but because this car is so light, it actually does better than you might expect. I'm not saying it's fast, don't go race Polo Vivos, you won't win, but it's enough for the car. But when you're driving on the highway, because of its size, the wind will also deal with you. When trucks pass or you pass a truck, you'll also shake a bit, so just keep that in mind. But another thing Suzuki did very well is that 5-speed manual transmission. Very simple to use. You don't even stress about stalling. Very easy to put it in gear. It's very nice and light, and if you're a learner driver or new to driving, this would be an excellent car to start with if you want a manual transmission. There is an AMT available, but AMTs are not the best gearboxes out there. So if you don't mind changing the gears, rather go for this one. If you're buying a budget car, or any car for that matter, I know fuel economy is very important to you. So you'll be happy to know the claimed fuel consumption for this car is 4.4 liters to the 100. I was averaging around 5.4 to 5.5 liters to the 100, but those of you that know me know I don't even try and drive economically, so you can't do any worse than that. I'm sure most of you will be able to get figures lower than 5.5. For those of you who are new to driving and are interested in the Celerio, don't stress. This is one of the easiest cars to drive and definitely one of the easiest cars to park. Even if you failed your learner's license 4 times, don't stress, this will not give you a tough time. It even comes with rear parking sensors, which give you that added peace of mind when you're doing some reverse parking. Now I know in the intro I mentioned the Ignis, the Espresso and the Swift, but we all know the biggest competition this car faces is itself with a different badge. Yes, I'm talking about the Toyota Vitz. The reason I'm saying the Vitz is its biggest competition is because over the last couple of weeks, I've had a lot of requests for the Toyota Vitz, but I decided to start with the original. So I asked Suzuki for a Celerio, and here we are. So take a good look at the Celerio. Now take a good look at the Vitz. Usually Toyota tries to change the look of the car a bit, but this time they didn't bother. They simply just changed the badge. For example, those are your 15-inch alloy wheels on your Suzuki, and those are your 15-inch alloy wheels now with the Toyota badge on them. That over there is the Suzuki interior, and as I quickly transition over to the Toyota interior, you realize that there are very little differences. The only thing that changed again is the badge. Same infotainment screen, same buttons. But what is not the same is the price. The top spec Toyota Vitz XR comes in at 219,900 Rand. That is 15,000 Rand more than the Suzuki Celerio 1-liter GL we're looking at right now, because this comes in at 204,900 Rand. On finance, because the repo rate keeps on increasing, I'm changing my interest rate from 11% to 12%. So this will come in at 4,006 Rand. And for a full tank, you are going to pay around 747 Rand at the current fuel price. And if you got an insurance premium of 1,000 Rand, your total cost of ownership will come to 5,753 Rand. Your Suzuki Celerio will come with a 2-year, 30,000 kilometer service plan and a 5-year, 200,000 kilometer warranty. Now, before we get to the boot space, I just wanted to first show you guys how to be romantic. See, open the door, guys. Open the door. It's not that hard. That's PA going inside the car. And wait for it. Wait for it. Wait a little longer. That's me closing the door. Look at that gentleman. Oh my daughter. Anyway guys, if you've enjoyed this review, don't forget to like and subscribe. Support local YouTube guys. It's the right thing to do. But please let me know in the comments, which of the two Suzukis would you go for? Do you take the Vitz or do you take the Celerio? Say 15,000 Rand or pay the extra 15,000 Rand, get the badge, which also has its own benefits. I might discuss that when I do the Toyota Vitz review. Let me know in the comments. And if you're wondering which of the two I would go for, well, that's easy. If I'm looking for a budget car, it means I'm trying to save money where I can, so I'll save the 15,000 Rand and get myself a Celerio. Now, let's quickly look at the boot space. I went to Macro to buy some milk and cornflakes and eggs. Those things are like 2 million these days. Anyway, 295-liter boot. It's more than enough to fit all your groceries or even your suitcases. For a car of its size, the Suzuki Celerio is surprisingly very practical. And please don't forget to check out changecars.co.za. They are my sponsor and they have partnered with Discovery Insurance. So if you're looking for a new or used car, they have over 24,000 cars for you to choose from. The link to the website will be in the description below. And as you know, I like to name all my cars, so I've decided to name this one KK. If you don't get it, forget about it. Anyway, from me to you, thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, take care.